Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to thank everyone for coming, even the students, especially the students. We have an awesome team. I think you guys are going to be treated to if not one of the premier teams in Class C. We have high hopes. This is kind of unique this year that we're doing this event before we go to districts. So districts are tomorrow at Atkinson, West Holt. I believe first round starts at 9, so we'll be on a bus at 6:15 tomorrow morning. We're really proud of how well the team has done this year. We have 2 goals as a team. I'll share them with you. I'll start with goal number 2. Goal number 2 is that we field the most competitive, most well-prepared NSAA team that we can. And we feel like every year the coaches and the students do a pretty darn good job with that. And there are 19 kids that will be performing today and tomorrow at West Holt. And we have a bunch more that are not on the district and conference teams that are very credible, accomplished speakers in their own right. And we are extremely proud of them. And I know that I've heard it from other coaches in our conference. I don't want to name names here, but holy cow, how come that person's not doing poetry? How come that person's not doing humorous prose? Well, it can only take 2. And I know they wish they had some of our speakers. Goal number 1, which we're more proud of, is that we improve the students as public speakers, more confident speakers and more confident people, and improving those soft skills that employers are looking for after high school. We feel like the skills learned in speech translate a long way past high school. So we're super proud of our efforts on both of those goals. My assistant coaches, Andy and Aaron, I can't thank them enough all the time that they sacrifice away from their families and away from their jobs. If you don't know Andy and Aaron, they're wearing shirts like mine. They're in the other room right now, but they'll be in here. So give them a big crisp high five if you see them. I can't think of anything else, so I think Taylor's going to start us off, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about extemporaneous speaking. Taylor is the defending Class C 2022 extemporaneous speaker, so she knows a lot more about it than I do, and I'm going to turn the floor over to her in just a minute, but thank you all for coming, and enjoy your day. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, so.
No. No.
So, extemporaneous speaking is basically where it's different from manuscript speaking or any other kind of speaking because you don't have a lot of preparation time to do it. So everybody else's speeches they've been working on for months and weeks to try and prep for it. Extemp, you get your topic the hour before you perform it. So this topic can range from current events to politics, anything in between. Some of them are about like president or like what's going on in the world, like the Ukraine war, something like that. So basically the process is that you get into a prep room, is what we call it, and that's usually like the library of the school. And you go in there, you get called up, and you draw your topic, and it's usually like a little slip of piece of paper. And it'll have your topic on it, and they'll put the time that you drew it. So 1 hour from when you drew your topic, you'll present that. And so you'll go down, and you'll sit down at your chair, and you just ferociously write your topic or your speech in that amount of time. And basically, we have a software that we can use now. Back in 20 years ago, you had to have newspapers and articles and all this stuff that you haul around with you, which I'm glad we don't do that now because I'm not strong enough to carry all that stuff. So I'm glad we don't have to do that anymore, but we have software on our computers that will allow us to search up these topics and current events. And this year, actually, we got the opportunity to use Google now, which is great. That's even better. So that's been a really huge asset, I feel like, for our extemp team with Edwin and Clay Sandman. So that's been really awesome to have that. So you get down there, you write your topic down, and I usually do it, I think I have one in my pocket. I usually do it like this on a note card. You get one note card to write all your stuff down. And I do it like a book, so you have your intro, your first point, your second point, and your third point. So you have to write really small if you're like me and you write it all down. So sometimes it gets tricky to make sure that you can read it. And you write it, and I usually try to get done within about 40 minutes, so then I have 20 minutes to practice my speech. So if you're in the hallways and you're gonna go watch your kid speak or your friend, and you see those people that are talking to the walls, we are not like weird people, I promise you. We are practicing our speeches, so just it usually just passes along, and that's what we're doing. So then extemporaneous is about 5 to 7 minutes long, and something that Rachel Melander actually kind of started and taught me was to have your own little intro that you do every single time. So mine this year is actually about John Cook, and I make it about how he's a leader and how leaders in our world are making decisions today, and then I tie that into my topic. So that's basically how extemp works. So, yeah.
Question.
Any
If you
questions?
go over,
What's that?
if you go over 7 minutes, is that bad?
You get a 30-second grace period. So 7:30 is the max, and if you go over, then you'll get docked a position. So if you got first in that round, you actually got second. So most people don't go over time just because it's really hard to do that, but I have done that before at David City this year, so that was interesting. So, is there any other questions about that? How that works? Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Bella Meyer, and today I'm going to be doing my Serious Prose. If you've never watched a Serious Prose, or if you don't know much about it, it's basically a dramatic interpretation of a book, or in my case, a screenplay. So it's a lot of acting like you would see in a play or a theater, but you just do it all by yourself. It's pretty fun. Our other Serious Prose speaker is Brianna. So yeah. Sure, yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, and the time limit is 10 minutes, and you have a 30-second grace period. Similar to like extemp and all the other events, if you go over that, you get ranked down. So that's not good. Don't go over time, guys. All right. Is everybody ready? Do you understand that I'll be editing this conversation? Just in case I don't say exactly what I mean. Everyone knows my story. This will just be my version of what happened. Please, take a seat. Most writers want to be famous. Do you want to be famous? You should prepare yourself. This article will give you a great deal of attention. If you want to avoid fame, here's my advice to you. Don't marry the president. I don't really have things. Why, I don't even have a home. People say I should raise my spirits by throwing a party. Parties like at the White House. Singing and dancing and champagne. Well, that house wasn't mine. Neither is this one. Nothing's really ever mine. Not to keep, anyways. A first lady must always be ready to pack her suitcases. It's inevitable. But I'm not a first lady anymore, so you can call me Jackie. The assassination of John F. Kennedy shattered our nation, but through it all, one woman held together our country's legacy. Jacqueline Kennedy is one of the most iconic women in American history, but behind her glamorous persona is a broken woman who suffered severe PTSD. Years after her death, it's time we uncover the woman behind the fame through this fictionalized account of an interview that took place after the JFK assassination. It's time we meet the real Jackie by Noah Oppenheim. I'm sure the readers would like to know what it's like being a member of my family. Well, I guess I'd say we're almost like royalty. But for royalty, you need tradition, and for tradition, you need time. Reporters like you say you're finding the truth, but, well, I know that isn't true. Would you mind? The truth? Well, I've come accustomed to a great divide between what people say and what I know to be real. So we'll just have to settle for a story that is believable. My husband was a great man. Jack loved history. It's what made him who he was. Imagine him, this little boy with scarlet fever in his bed, reading history. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, that's what Camelot's all about. Ordinary men, banding together to fight for a better world. How would you write that? You don't write very legibly, do you? Mrs. Kennedy lights yet another cigarette and explains that Jack wasn't perfect, but he was perfect for our country. Perfect people can't change. Jack was always getting better, stronger. He always came back to them, his beloved family. You wrote it well, but I don't smoke. I can feel Jack getting angry with us. There you go, spending all that money on silly little knickknacks. The man would spend whatever it took for votes, but balked at buying a beautiful painting. I guess we don't have to worry about that anymore. Don't look at me like that. I said don't look at me like that. I was the First Lady of the United States. Women have gone through far worse, for far less. I used to be a reporter myself once. I know what you're looking for. A moment by moment account. That's what you came here for, isn't it? You want me to describe the sound the bullet made when it collided with my husband's skull. Are you afraid I'm about to cry? There'd been the biggest motorcade from the airport. It was hot and wild, like in Mexico or Vienna. The sun was strong in our faces, but I couldn't wear my sunglasses. Bang! Bang! I see a piece of Jack's skull come off. and brains in my life, and I'm saying, Jack, can you hear me, Jack? I love you, Jack. Well, let's just say I knew he was dead. Don't think for one moment I'm gonna let you publish that, you understand? Good. You ask me about my faith? Well, I'd prefer to discuss my faith with the priest. You're not a man of the cloth, are you? Well, you know what? I think God is cruel. There you go, getting into trouble, Jackie. God is love and God is everywhere. Was he in the bullet that killed my Jack? Is he inside me right now? Well, that's a funny game you guys playing. Hiding all the time. If there's a heaven, there's your God with all his empty promises. Nancy said that they wanted to share my grave. So I let them. But the truth is, all the pageantry and the demands, they weren't for Jack. Or his legacy, they were for me. That night, and every night since, I've prayed to die. Do you understand me, do you? No. No. Only crass, self-indulgent people kill themselves. I was just hoping that if I walked next to my Jack, maybe someone would be kind enough to do it for me. I never wanted fame. I just became a Kennedy.
Hi everybody. My name's Miranda Nelson. I am one of our Humorous Prose speakers this year on the district team. Humorous prose is like the silly version of serious prose. You can have one character or you can have 12 characters. It just depends on your script. And sometimes it's lighthearted humor and sometimes it's a bit dark. Yeah, that's. Oh, and the time limit is 10 minutes and grace period is 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay? Everybody ready? Yeah. Dora! Boots! Come on, Dora! Dora! Alright! Dora! Dora! Dora the Explorer! Hola, soy Dora! And I'm Boots. Today, we're going on a trip to the underworld. That's where people go when they die. Do you know someone who's died? How tragic! Last week, Abuela died! Taking her flan recipe with her. Tia Rosa, so we're gonna go find it. In today's episode, episode 6 of season 666 of Dora the Explorer, Dora and her many friends, Boots the monkey, Moo, Benny the bull, Tico the squirrel, along with her trusty map and bountiful backpack, must voyage into the underworld to find Abuela and her flavorful flan recipe. Can you help them? Great. Gracias. See what other colorful characters you meet in Dora Visits the Underworld by E.R. Catalano. Here are our friends Benny the Bull and Tico the Squirrel, but Tico only speaks Spanish. Can you say inframundo? That's underworld in Spanish. ¿Por qué vámonos al infierno? Oh, Tico. Come on, everyone. Vámonos. Here we are at the River Styx. Do you know what a river is? Good job. But, Dora, how are we gonna find Abuela? Well, Boots, Abuela's in Elysium. But since we don't know how to get there, we'll have to ask Map. There's a place you gotta go. I could get you there. I know I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. Plain we know that you're the map. Just give us the directions. I'm the map. Hi, everyone. I'm Map. Can you help me tell Dora how to find Abuela? First, they have to cross the River Styx, then go through the fields of asphodel, and then they'll be at Elysium. Can you tell Dora? Styx, asphodel, Elysium, so we know the directions. So, first we have to cross the River Styx. Yeah, Map, just said that. There's a boat over there, but who's inside of it? I'm Grumpy Charon. Set an open course for River Styx, but I've got to be paid. Paid in sacrifice that you burned for me. This means that he wants us to make a sacrifice before he'll ferry us across. But, Dora, what do we have to sacrifice? Well, Boots, from my extensive research, I know that in ancient times, people used to burn cows to please the gods. Moo! Do we have anything that's kind of like a cow? Okay. All of mis amigos appeared above my head. They sang for me this song of hope and then removed my head. Bullet! And then Chiron said, come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Remember, everyone, now that we're on the ship, be careful to not fall overboard. Mira! Oh no, everyone! Boots fell overboard. We have to help him. Dora! Chico, help me, please! Remember, Boots, in Spanish, Tico doesn't speak English. Are you kidding? Ayúdame! Ayúdame! Let's check backpack. Backpack. But we know the song. Just give me the rope. Grab the rope, Boots.
Uh-oh, what's that blocking the gate? It's a three-headed dog? Cerberus! You're right, Tico. That is Cerberus. To get through the fields of Asphato, we need a golden bough from that gate. So we need a distraction! But Dora, what do we have that would distract a dog's attention? Well, Boots, let's think. What do dogs like to chase? Can you think of anything? That's right! Dogs like to chase squirrels, Lista, Tico. Video in the yellow! You're doing bueno, Tico. I've got the bow from the gate. You keep distracting Cerberus, and Boots and I'll find Abuela. Vamonos, Boots! But Dora, where's all of this fog coming from? I don't know, Boots, but do you hear that? It sounds kind of like Swiper. We can't let Swiper get the golden bough or we'll be lost in this fog forever. Do you see Swiper? Where? Swiper, no swiping. Oh, Swiper, no swiping. Swiper, no! Swiping. We did it, everyone! We defeated Swiper and made our way through the foggy field. Now what we have to do is find Abuela. Abuela! Dora. Boots. Dios mío. I thought I'd finally earn some peace and quiet. Not to mention a break from all the monkey poop. Abuela, we came for your flan recipe. Tio Rosa wants it. Oh, she does now, does she? Mm-hmm. She says that you promised it to her when you died. Well, you tell her that she can come and rip it from my cold dead hands! Abuela! But 6 of 1, as they say. Here, you can have it. Gracias, Abuela. I'll keep it safe in backpack. Yum, 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 yum. Delicioso, Dora. Come on, everyone. You know this song. Bum, 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 bum. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. We had an amazing adventure today. What was your favorite part? I liked that part too. My favorite part was when we sacrificed our friend and burnt his body on a pyre. Oh, that was my favorite part too, Boots. Y tú eres cómplice de asesinato. Dora, what does that mean? That means we couldn't have done it without you. Muchas gracias, everyone!
In between speakers, we had one more person show up. I believe he's sitting in the other room. If you see Curtis Little, he has helped us out a lot this year. Volunteered a ton of hours coaching and he's judged at, I believe he came to every single meet. He even had to fill in at our conference meet when we had a judge drop the last minute. So if you see Curtis, give him a crisp high five.
Okay, we're doing duet acting, which is two people, how they interpret a script. We got a big script at the end, or at the beginning of the year, I guess. It was like 70 plus pages, and we cut it down to like 13 pages.
Yes, we.
We. Like 13 pages, and the time limit is 12 minutes with the 12-minute, 30-second grace period. Stop.
Who are you?
I'm Lauren, right?
And I'm Aiden Nori, and
This is our
duet.
production.
I in this mystery, I in this mystery. I in this mystery.
What the hell?
I in this mystery, here we stand. See, it's Whitman.
Who's Whitman?
The quotes from Walt Whitman, from Leaves of Grass.
Leaves of what? Why are you saying that in my room? Who are you?
I'm Anthony. Anthony from school? Your mom let me in.
Oh, why are you here? Are you like a bad guy?
What? No! I came here so we can work.
Work? What work? I don't work.
We're supposed to do that project together. The American Lit project for American Lit.
Look, Pushy, I wasn't expecting you. You were not expected. And I don't understand or approve of this invasion. So you're going to explain this to me before I pummel you!
Okay. Look, I only came here to work, which I don't want to do either, but I have to, and so do you.
In what planet, in what universe would I help you with the school project when I, in fact, don't go to school, like, at all right now?
I know that, but
Because I'm kinda sick. Like, everyone knows I'm sick and everyone's freaked out about it. No one ever comes here. What is that?
waffle fries. To be or not to be?
Afraid or not afraid?
Caroline struggles throughout her time with Anthony debating this question. Is she really afraid of dying or not?
Anthony, the basketball jock, is eager to get this project done. Yet he can't help but console Caroline.
As the project gets pushed off, Caroline learns that they're much closer than she thought.
I,
And you.
by Lauren Gunderson.
Nice room, it's quite cozy.
Thanks.
Whoa, you got a turtle?
Oh, don't bring Sheldon into this! My body hates me. My house hates me. And here you come with homework?
I in this mystery, here we stand.
Okay, really, do we need to keep doing that? It was weird before, and it's weird now.
It's not weird, I like it.
I hate poetry.
You do not hate poetry.
I really do.
Fine, but let me read you this one thing.
No,
One thing.
no, this is...
The spotted hawk swoops by and accuses me. He complains of my gab, my loitering. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yap over the rest of the world.
Okay, so what is a barbaric yop?
I don't know, it's like your biggest, loudest yap.
Let me see that. Okay, I'm not saying I'm gonna help you with the project. I'm just saying, what do I Google?
So the project you might want to consider as you read is a critical analysis of Whitman's use of pronouns I and you in Song of Myself.
Welcome is every organ and attribute of me, and of any man hearty and clean. Pronouns?
He was like big on the pronouns. The meanings shift throughout the poems, and I think we're supposed to track it.
Track it?
Yeah.
Not an inch nor a particle of an inch is vile, and none shall be
Less
less.
familiar than the rest!
I hate poetry.
Fine. But just focus on the point of the poem. It's spiritual. Because if you're ever afraid of dying or anything, read this and it'll make you feel pretty good about it. Because Walter's like, hey, Death, you want to be a jerk? Fine, but you can't stop my barbaric yap, baby.
Why would I be afraid of dying?
I didn't mean that you...
Because I'm not. Are you afraid of dying?
Look, boys act all tough, but they get scared too. Just don't pity me is all I'm asking.
How can I pity you when I hardly even know you?
Do you want to get to know me?
Sure.
Well, this is my room. Well, that's my turtle. I've been sick pretty much ever since I was born. That's me. Yeah.
And tell me more.
Well, they've tried a ton of stuff, but it's at the point where I just need a new thing. But liver's a robust organ, so it's not as sketchy as it can be. But the whole process is kind of crazy. So my life's kind of crazy. So I'm kind of crazy. But you wanted to know.
I did.
Now you know.
What else?
Oh, one time I dyed my hair purple. And I was into American Girl dolls for all of 0 minutes of my life. But penguins are hilarious. And there is no flavor of ice cream better than Chunky Monkey. None. Period. Do not cross me on this.
You're so unique.
Wow. Thanks.
I'm just saying you're not only your thing.
My what?
I don't know what you call it. Your thing. Your thing.
My terrible dance?
Your sick thing. I don't know. You knew what I was saying.
Yes, I did. And you should learn some anatomy. It's higher. Let's take a break. We need a break. You know my thing. What's yours? What's your favorite kind of music? Do you play a sport?
Basketball. You're so weird.
Oh, well, you're so weird. What's your issue? I had waffles for breakfast. I'm not ashamed. What'd you do?
I went to school, I played a game, and then I came here to do this project.
Did you win your game?
We had to stop before it was over. Look, can we keep working?
Well, why'd you have to stop?
This kid. We were at the end of the 3rd quarter, and this kid just falls in the middle of the court. Just drops.
Is he okay?
No, he died.
Are you okay?
And like the whole game, I was thinking about that stupid line. I in this mystery, here we stand. And then he's dead. Just dead.
I don't know what to do.
I'm fine.
Okay, so you came here to do a project after you watched some kid die?
Well, this thing is due.
But you should be with someone.
I am with someone. Look, I don't have much time left.
Okay.
And talking about how awful it was doesn't make it less awful.
Okay. So, I was thinking, what if we focused on the ending lines? The ending is the most important part.
The ending is not the most important part.
Well, what's your problem with the ending?
Because it ends with nobody knowing anyone, and nobody finding anyone, and no one means anything because they're all alone with some grass! Sorry, but you're just wrong.
Oh, I see. Well, if it's all about death and dying and the things that you're afraid of, then you might want me and my expert opinion on the matter. Because my whole conscious life I've been like, prepared to die. Or thinking about it, or planning it, or staring it back in its beady little death eyes, because if I didn't, I'd just quit! So, it's not this weird, awful, evil thing, it's just a thing! Get over it! Oh.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it just happens like this sometimes. I just get so tired and so mad at everything. This thing just sucks the fun out of the world and poisons everything in it, and I hate it.
That's dark.
You sound like my mom. She says I'm being dark, and I'm like, Mom, you're not the one that's going to die.
You're not going to die. Don't say that.
I'm just saying that if it's going to happen, then it should just go ahead. It's like, fix me or kill me already.
You don't mean that.
Please don't tell me what I mean.
Why aren't you scared?
Because I've lived with this thing for all my life. And it doesn't win until I've let it.
Exactly. You stare it down and you never give up. You just kissed me.
Or I fell on your face. It doesn't have to be a big deal. And then you fell on my face.
Sorry.
Oh, don't be. Remember when I said I was gonna pummel you? This is way better.
Caroline, I think it's time.
Oh.
I should probably get going.
Okay, well, let me know how it goes. Like tomorrow. I'm saying come here tomorrow. Or not. You're not saying anything.
Stop.
What?
Just stop.
Stop what?
Caroline, I'm sorry, but it's not real.
What are you talking about?
I'm not really here. The truth is, I stopped being here this afternoon on a basketball court. And the very last thing that I could think of was this thing from lit class. I and this mystery,
Anthony?
here we stand.
Oh my God.
We stand here because you were on a list.
Well, Mom got a call today. There's a donor.
Your bag was packed. Your mom rushed you to the hospital, and I was already there. They sped you into surgery, and the surgery went well. And you'll wake up soon.
Wait. Why did you do all of this?
I wanted to meet you and see if this would work. And it will. And it'll all be over soon.
Well, I don't want it to be.
I know. And don't be scared, but this is not your room. This is not your bed. There is nothing here but you and I.
my name is Marissa, and I will be doing my informative speech. And basically, in an informative speech, you write your typical informative essay, and you present it. You have 10 minutes and 30-second grace period, and you can have boards too to enhance your speech. So that's basically it. According to the... Wait, do you smell that? I think I may have forgotten to get ready this morning, so don't mind me. According to Wall Street Journal writer Jude Stewart's November 6, 2021 article, 85% of Americans have worried that they smell bad at one time or another. My old reliable perfume. I use this scent every day. Wait, is this still working? I can't really smell it anymore. What if I've gone nose blind? Nose blindness is a naturally occurring adaptation of the human body. This phenomenon makes us unable to detect or distinguish common sense in our environment. To learn more about this common condition, we will begin by inhaling information regarding the science behind nose blindness. Then, we will sniff out ways in which smells, and lack thereof, influence our daily lives. And finally, we will get a whiff of several strategies we can utilize to combat nose blindness. Let's begin by sniffing out the science behind nose blindness and what actually happens inside your nose and brain when you get used to environmental smells. Say you have a new cinnamon-scented air freshener. The odorant molecules waft through the air into your nostrils and to the nasal cavity. Dr. Corey Bin details this in his May 22, 2019 publication of the Scientific American. The nasal cavity has small hairs that clean and filter the air, called cilia. The filtered air then reaches the olfactory nerves. This is where we find the cells in charge of collecting information and sending it to the olfactory bulb. The olfactory bulb then perceives the odor and sends this newfound information directly to your brain. There, your brain identifies the odor and decides what to do about it. But very quickly, after just about 2 breaths, the receptors in your nose switch off, and the intensity of the smell starts to fade. That's because your brain has perceived the scent as non-threatening. This is an example of the selective attention mechanisms in our brains, as explained in the July 2018 issue of Current Biology. Our brains filter through available odor information as important and non-important. Furthermore, cognitive psychologist Pamela Dalton explains in the August 2021 edition of Reader's Digest that by decreasing our ability to detect familiar scents in our environment, it can make it easier for us to pick up on scents that are out of the ordinary, that may require our attention. However, she points out that we must act quickly, because these scents will soon become undetectable to us too. Every day, our senses provide our brain with a wealth of information about our surroundings. Without some way to effectively filter through all of this incoming data, our brains would quickly become overstimulated. This is why nose blindness exists. Now, let's boogie on down to explore how smells, both bad and pleasant, influence our lives in 3 major ways. Perhaps the most striking interaction between scent and the human condition involves memories. Encountering one simple smell, like freshly baked cookies, the smell of a new car, or even the cologne of your first kiss, can bring a rush of emotions as you're transported back to that specific memory. In fact, medical anthropologist Colleen Walsh's February 27, 2021 research featured in the Harvard Gazette found that olfactory cues, such as smells or odors, are much more effective at triggering clear and emotional memories than visual cues, such as images, words, or photographs. If we are unable to associate a scent with a human experience due to a noseblind condition, we are simply less likely to remember it. Therefore, scents are an important part of the human experience and are desirable to emphasize rather than diminish. Next, smells affect consumer spending. Research suggests smells can play a role in what you buy, how much you spend, and even what you gamble. In one study based at a Las Vegas casino, led by Dr. Alan Hirsch on January 3, 2019, there was a near 50% rise in money gambled when a pleasant scent was sprayed around slot machines. Similarly, a study performed at the Nara Institute of Japan found that shoppers tend to spend more when stores are filled with positively associated scents. Consumers should be aware that this kind of scent marketing is subconsciously influencing their behavior. Fortunately, if you can resist the initial impulse, it will soon not be a temptation, because nose blindness is bound to set in. Finally, flavor. Although you may think that taste and flavor are synonymous, they're not exactly the same. Your mouth tastes food, but smell affects the overall flavor experience perceived by our brains. In November of 2019, Charles Spence at the Crosswell Research Laboratory found that up to 90% of flavor is actually smell. If you are unable to smell due to a medical condition such as COVID, or because you've gone noseblind to a particular food scent, your ability to experience different flavors will be hindered. And since eating is essential to human survival, this represents yet another way that smell impacts our day-to-day lives. Now let's get a whiff of several strategies we can utilize to combat fragrance fatigue. One solution is to go outside, or simply leave the area. Changing locations allows you to resensitize your nose and cleanses your scent palette. If you've ever returned home after being away for a period of time and noticed that your house smells a little differently than it did before you left, you've already experienced this. To detect odors in your home, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission's January 1st, 2022 issuance recommends leaving your house for at least 30 minutes before re-entering. Consistent with Pamela Dalton's August 2021 article cited earlier, another option is to alternate fragrances each month, whether this is your perfume, deodorant, or air freshener. This variance reduces nose blindness so that you do not get overly accustomed to the same scents. According to Isabel Twick and John Anthony Lee, writers of Science Direct's April 24th, 2021 article, the quickest solution to reset your smelling palette is smelling your own skin. It's smelling your own skin. If you're ever feeling olfactory fatigue, just smell the crease of your elbow. It may seem strange, but another strategy is breaking a sweat. In fact, a study designed by Dr. Mary Fisher and Ronald Klein, accessed in the National Library of Medicine on December 30th, 2022, found that adults who exercise regularly have a much lower risk of developing an impaired sense of smell. This is because vigorous exercise like cardio increases the blood flow throughout your entire body, including your nose, improving its ability to pick up on scents. Finally, intentionally focusing on a scent may also help reduce nose blindness. Neuroscientist Andreas Keller explains in his 2018 book, Philosophy of Olfactory Perception, our brains have complex pathways that allow us to shift our attention from thoughts, memories, or other senses directly towards our sense of smell. When we make a conscious effort to think about a scent, our brain focuses more attention on olfactory stimuli. This, in turn, will make us more susceptible to odors that we may have ignored before. Now that you know several strategies you can utilize to maintain your sense of scent, let's review everything we've learned today. We first began by understanding the science behind nose blindness, and how after a period of time, any scent will become undetectable to us. Then we looked into 3 major ways smell influences our daily lives: memory, spending, and flavor. And finally, we uncovered several strategies we can utilize to combat nose blindness. So the next time you're wondering if you've gone nose blind, try leaving the area, alternating fragrances, smelling your own skin, breaking a sweat, or even just making a conscious effort to be aware of your scent surroundings. So hang that new air freshener. Enjoy the smell of waking up to mom making breakfast, and notice the cologne that cute guy in calculus is wearing. Now, even when the smells fade, you know they're still there. All you need to do is step away for a little bit to enjoy them all over again. Oh, I forgot I packed this new perfume. Maybe I should give it a try. Hi everyone, I'm Brianna Johnson, and I will be performing my POI for you. So POI is a new event. It stands for Program of Oral Interpretation. Basically, you take news articles, poems, books, prose, and you splice it together to form a story. And the time limit is 10 minutes with a 30-second grace period. So here's my POI. Dark on that Mississippi Delta day. My baby Emmett fell so far from grace. But that justice, what would justice have to say? I taught him not to sass or disobey, but they say he shamed a white girl to her face. There was a shoving at the back door. It opened and my husband into the room. I was afraid to be alone in the store. The store's a scary place when you're alone at night. Roy walked into the kitchen and he began to speak. The hair on the back of my neck bristled. Oh, I knew something was not right, but I couldn't imagine what it was. Although Roy was on edge most of the day. When we finally settled down for the evening, I thought things had gotten better. I wasn't prepared for what was next. We got him! We'll be sure it's him! Is that him? No, it's not him. It's not him. You have the wrong person! In 1955, while African Americans still struggled for equal rights, Carolyn Bryant, a privileged white woman, accused Emmett Till of whistling at her and touching her inappropriately. Emmett paid dearly as a result of Carolyn's dishonesty. He was kidnapped, tortured, and killed by her husband and his half-brother. Both were acquitted. The brutal murder of Emmett Till, nearly 68 years ago, has gone unpunished but not forgotten. Through Carolyn Bryant's perspective, in I Am More Than a Wolf Whistle by Carolyn Bryant, and court transcripts of Carolyn's testimony at her husband's murder trial. Through the media's perspective, in 1955, Associated Negro Press newspaper article, Jackson calls Till's death crime worse than a lynching. In the Chicago Tribune editorial, everybody needs to know what happened to Emmett Till, as well as a stance of a grieving mother. The poem The Innocents by Emmett's mother, Mamie Till. I hope to write a contrast of perspectives, but ultimately remember, Emmett Till, a program of oral interpretation. Damn it, look at him! You haven't even looked at him yet! No, it's not him. You have the wrong person. Please, please take him home. To my utter disbelief, the young man flashed me a strange smile and said, yes, it was me. Or something to that effect. I was dumbfounded at his response. He didn't act as if he was concerned or scared in the least. Please, please take him home. He didn't hurt me. He only scared me. Please take him back. He cut back to sort of hurt you, and I won't stand for that. He could, but I know he won't. Please, Roy, I want you to take him back home. The three of them left the store, with the young man walking in between, and I heard Roy tell J.W. and his friend to take him back home. And I knew he'd be okay. Shaken up, and be scared, but okay. Dark on that Mississippi Delta day. They beat him bloody. Oh, they made him pay. They kicked him, shot him, and then drowned him, just in case. Injustice could not find the words to say. Oh, Emmett. September 15th, 1955, Memphis. Emmett Till was killed after he reportedly whistled at a pretty white woman in Money, Mississippi. His beaten and bullet-ridden body was found in the Tallahatchie River. Just for whistling at her, and 2 white men have been indicted with murder. I swear, my name, Mrs. Raw Bryant, the wife of one of the defendants in this case, Raw Bryant.
Well, I was alone in our store after dark, and this man came in, and he stopped there at the candy case. Well, I asked what he wanted, then I got it out, and I put it on top of the candy case. I held out my right hand for his money. What'd he do? Got it, like this. A strong grip. Well, I jerked it loose, like this. He said, "How about a date, baby?" And then I turned around to the back of the store. He came on down that way and caught me at the cash register. Well, he put his left hand on my left hip and his right hand over on the other side. He said, "What's the matter, baby? Can't you take it?" He said, "You needn't be afraid of me." And then he used language I do not use. It is an unprintable word. Well, he's been with a white woman before. And then this other man came in and got her by the arm, and he led him out the door and said goodbye. And I called to Mrs. Milan to watch for me as I went out to the car. Well, for my pistol, as I went out to the car, I saw the man again. He was standing by one of the posts on the front porch, and he whistled at me. And he got in a car down the road. Well, I was just scared to death. The killers were acquitted, by the way. A Southern virtue gussied up in lace, dark, on the Mississippi Delta Day. Two white Mississippi men, Roy Bryant and his half-brother J.W. Milam, were acquitted of the murder by an all-white, small-town Mississippi jury that deliberated for a little over an hour, including a Coke break. And months later, Roy and Milam admitted their guilt to Look magazine. They closed up his casket, to my dismay. Seemed to me like it was a hiding place. So Emmett's mama found the words to say, "I laid my bloody boy out on display." A decision by his mother made me tell Mowgli to allow an open casket at Emmett's Chicago funeral, representing an act of defiance as well as mourning, helping to unite the modern civil rights movement. Let the people see what I've seen. Rosa Parks said she had Emmett Till in mind in December 1955 when she refused to move to the back of the bus in Montgomery, Alabama. About a decade ago, the Justice Department and Mississippi prosecutors reinvestigated the murder, and they declined to move forward. Then years later, Carolyn said she hadn't been truthful in her trial testimony. But 50,000 mourners won't erase dark from that Mississippi Delta Day, when justice did not have one word to say. I always felt like a victim as well as Emmett. He came into our store and he put his hands on me with no provocation. But do I think he should have been killed for doing that? Absolutely, unequivocally, no. But did we both pay for the price of it? Yes, we did. He paid dearly with the loss of his life, but I paid with an altered life. I've often wondered how different my life would have been if. But there is no if. Things are the way they are.
I'm Nathan Devine. I'm doing an entertainment speech. And so in entertainment, you have 8 minutes to give a speech to entertain the crowd. I guess the NSA rule makers were a little bit stingy and didn't want to sit through an entertainment for 10 minutes like almost all the other events. Or maybe it just takes too long to set up, I don't know. But I only have 8 minutes, and then I have a 30-second grace period. If I go over that grace period, I go down a step. So pretty much the only rules are entertain people and, you know, execute a good speech too. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Hey everybody, are you ready to rock? Alright, okay, I hear you. Calm down. First I have to tell a story. So here you are, you're in elementary school and you're taking piano lessons just like all the other little kids your age. And then you quit, like a fool. So then fast forward a few years, you get your degree in education, English, journalism, something like that. And now you're stuck judging a speech meet for some extra cash. Look, I get it, this sucks and you don't want to be here, but 20 bucks around is 20 bucks around, am I right? Well, you know, at least you're judging something fun and entertaining, like entertainment, and not something boring like, I don't know, extemp or poetry. Oh yeah, you know, if you were judging one of those, you'd be daydreaming. You'd be daydreaming about those piano lessons, about how if you could have stuck with it, you could have been something. You could have been somebody. So you think to yourself, I'm going to start a band! Well, yeah, you don't really know how yet. Fret not. Get it? Like, fret. Fret not, because I'm going to teach you how to start a band by first starting in the basement with organization and planning. Then you turn your amp up to 11 in the garage with practice and mastery of skills. And finally, you're going to take your talents to the stage to show the rest of the world what you got. Let's go head down to the basement. Oh, forget it. You gotta start somewhere, am I right? Today I'm here to tell you that you start in the basement with organization and planning. First step to even organizing a band is finding the genre that you want to play. So normally this is done through a trial and error strategy. So let's sift through some genres. Let's try something like country. Yeah, no, too twangy. Not enough energy, right? How about something like classic rock? Yeah, it's good. It's just still not enough energy. How about something more extreme like heavy metal? Yeah, that gets the blood pumping, right? Come on! Fun guitar, challenging vocals, rhythmic drums, it's perfect! So, once you find the genre that's right for you and your band, you can find bandmates, and mine is going to be the heavy metal archetype. So first off, the vocalist. You know, he's typically going to be a big, ugly ogre of a man, the type of people that you see in public and try to avoid. He's going to have issues with parental relationships or romantic relationships, or both, because good lyrical material does not grow on trees. Next.
Me play drums. Me count to 4. Me make drum both whack.
Third is going to be your bassist, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter who your bassist is. He could be a cat grandma, TikTok influencer, speech judge, somebody who doesn't really matter because, let's be honest, nobody cares about the basics. Finally, the guitarist. He's going to have long hair, an addiction to something, whether it's video games, drugs, Sudoku, anything like that, and he's going to be unemployed. You're in a band, deal with it. So you got your band all organized, and you're ready to go practice and master your skills. So let's go head to the garage. Ready to practice? Great. Well, okay, vocalist, if you can't tell, I'm not really a singer, so I don't know how to tell you how to practice your voice. Just all I know is hydrate or dihydrate. Preserving your voice is your #1 priority. And drummers, just count to 4, stay on tempo, and other than that, nothing else matters. Okay, now I can see you guys getting glossy-eyed in the crowd, and I can tell you want me to play this big fancy white guitar, right? Yeah, cool. Well, that's perfect, because I'm going to show you all the ways that you can incorporate a guitar in a heavy metal song. Ready? Cool. Okay. Here's a note. Got that? Okay, here's a chord. Got that? Okay. Here's a riff. And he's going to incorporate a solo to that. Catch all that? Okay, well, that's fine if you didn't, because if not, you can just grab a bass. Or not, because, say it with me, on 3, nobody cares about the bassist. 1, 2, 3. Nobody cares about the bassist! All right, perfect, you got this, you're learning great. So now that you've practiced your skills, you can finally take your time to the stage. So now that you got your confidence up, you can finally schedule some gigs. Well, actually, first let's backtrack, because I know the real reason that you wanted to start a band. The groupies. Sit down, we're gonna have a talk. Nobody likes your band? Are you kidding me? You're a bunch of high school dropouts making a bunch of noise, okay? There's no way you're gonna get the goth groupies that you want to hang out after the show, okay? It is impossible. Well, actually, it's not. In order to get those groupies that you want, you need a start. Whether it's getting social media clout by starting a mosh pit at your local Denny's, or, you know, maybe a more normal method. The bandwagon effect, when all the cool kids see that you got an audience. Now, due to the unfortunate reality of the franchise chain probably not allowing a mosh pit in their dining area, you'd probably just be better off asking your family and friends to invite their family and friends to your next gig. Your audience will swell, and then your heavy metal band's ultimate purpose will be fulfilled in getting your groupies. So now we can schedule our gigs. The first and most important rule is make sure that your bandmates are crystal clear on when they can and cannot perform a gig. Because I can guarantee you that the unemployed bandmate will find the perfect weekend to be out of state without telling anybody and canceling the whole gig! Okay, so it's not that big of a deal, right? Because you have to start small, like Cousin Tim's middle school graduation party, you know, venues that can really handle heavy metal. However, those early gigs are few and far between, so make sure to just come as you are. Come as you are, have some fun, jump around, put on some theatrics, and give people something to talk about. So I just took you through my crash course of how to start a band by first starting in the basement with organization and planning. Then you turned your amp up to 11 in the garage with practice and mastery of skills. And finally, you took your talents to the stage to show the rest of the world what you got. And get the groupies. So I think we can hop back into that daydream years where your heavy metal band Mesothelioma is playing their latest gig with First and 50. Thank you and good night!
So poetry is like 8 minutes. You have like a 30-second grace period. Yeah.
How many poems do you have in your program?
I have 3 poems.
What's your name?
My name's Michelea.
Who's your favorite coach? No, I'm just kidding.
You don't want to know.
Probably not.
Open letter to Marvel Comics. I've always been confused by your flagship character, Captain America. As one of the most militarized nations in the history of the world, I don't understand how our mascot's primary weapon is a shield. I feel like he'd be more authentic if he walked around with a nuclear missile stuffed into his tidy whities. or if he stalked around waterboarding terrorists with Diet Coke, or if he lugged a big bag of Big Macs to clog the arteries of his enemies. If the next Avengers movie is a prequel, and we travel back to 1492, what they call Christopher Columbus Captain America, I pledge allegiance to your flag of the United States of America and to your republic, for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for who? For you? For some? Not for us. Not for our people, so please, stop saying we are equal with you. All lives matter, but one. So do Black lives. Why did two phrases this should work side by side seem to only divide? Two. That's all anyone's saying. Black lives matter too. 11. That's how many times I can't breathe, 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 I can't breathe. Eric Gardner said, "I can't breathe," before he was killed by police. So I guess those 3 words only mean stop if you're white. Have you ever been looked down upon because of your race or ethnicity? I have. I am proudly an Oglala Lakota Sioux Native American. However, I have struggled a lot with the amount of oppression my family and I get from others. Through the poems Captain America by William Giles, Letter to Your Flag by Royal, and All Lives Matter, but by Royce Mann, we see this oppression, up close and personal. Oppression, a poetry program. When I see that shield, I'm reminded that one of every 8 adult natives in Guam is a U.S. veteran. We are dying to belong. And I'm beginning to understand the metaphor of Captain America's weapon. So show me how man creates a human shield, how he fills an army with children of nations he has slain. We in the United States spend over 8 times as much of our budget on warfare than we do on education. Then you pull the trigger. Pull the trigger until our bodies lay down on your ground. Pull the trigger until we make your evening news. And then when our children cry, we have to look our children in the eyes and tell them that they have to be careful. That when they walk down your streets, they have to do so in fear. That they have to spend an entirety of their lives looking over their shoulder. Because you will hunt them down and you will bury them. 15. That's how old Cameron Sterling was when he lost his father. 15. That's how old Cameron Sterling was when he said we must protest the right way. 15. That's how old Cameron Sterling was when he said peace, not guns. We in America decry warlords in Africa for enlisting 13-year-old soldiers, while ROTC fishes cadets out of our classrooms. See, when the military uses the land your family used to farm, sugar plantation becomes platoon. But when farmers till the earth with guns, the only crop is blood. In these territories, American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, Samoa, Northern and Marianas Virgin Islands, the people are unable to cast a vote for the U.S. president. Who decides when and where we go to war? So they are a shield with a lip, but no mouth, no say what country it will be thrown into next. And this is all because of that same racism you love to say no longer exist. But we all know that that same racism is the reason that me saying your Pledge of Allegiance feels a lot like a root canal. Our whip's impact against our flesh, or a baton to our head, or a bullet in our back, or tear gas at a Black Lives Matter protest. 20. So why were 20 officers shot in retaliation when all that separates black and blue is only a few shades? 52. It's been 52 years since the Civil Rights Act passed and we all supposedly became equal. Well, guess what? We're in 2023 and films about equality are still part of the fantasy genre. 102. That's how many unarmed black people were killed last year. It's one more than that number should have been. We are so much more. The more's bone and blood, fists more than body made bullet trap. I will show you how a shield, given no mouth, can still grow teeth. Still teach itself how to speak. We, survivors, turn soldiers. We, once and always will be warriors. We, when Captain America, your shield, our people, decide our lives are worth more than the price of your citizenship, what will you hide behind then?
So hello, my name is Marissa Melander, and I will be doing my persuasive speech. It's pretty simple. You just write a persuasive speech about any topic you wish to persuade people on, and it can be up to 10 minutes. You have a 30-second grace period. And yeah, that's pretty much it. My parents are crazy. They have to know where I am at all times. I can't go anywhere or do anything without them knowing my exact location. And I know I'm not the only teenager with parents like mine. In fact, about 32 million people worldwide have Life 360 installed on their phones. And this number only continues to grow, as stated by Anna Jones, author of BCC's November 7, 2021 article. This is because, in past few years, location sharing apps such as Life 360, Mama Bear, and Find My Friends have gained popularity among parents wanting to track their children's whereabouts. Typically, these apps are branded to guarantee parents peace of mind. However, the truth is that they've only hindered children developmentally and worsened parent-child relationships in the 21st century. Therefore, parents should not force their teenagers to have Life 360 installed on their phones. This is clearly demonstrated by first monitoring the risky behavior caused by this invasion of privacy, then pinpointing the developmental damage done to teens by the overabundant power these apps grant parents, and finally, locating the communication breakdown between parents and children due to the constant surveillance. Tracking apps like Life 360 are an invasion of teens' privacy, and to combat this, teens are engaging in risky behaviors that may result in extremely harmful consequences. First and foremost, these apps tell users everything from their friends and family's real-time location, the speed at which they're driving, the battery level on their devices, and more. According to Abby Olshner, journalist at the Washington Post, in her article published on October 22, 2019, parents use tracking apps to know their child's whereabouts at all times. When a parent checks the app and sees their child somewhere they don't like, disciplinary consequences are undergone. This destroys any personal boundaries set up by their child and showcases that their desire for privacy is not taken seriously. Because of this, teenagers have made a trend out of sharing ways to hack apps like Life360 on TikTok. This is further explained by Mary Maitzel, reporter at the Business Insider, in her article published on December 2, 2022. There, teenagers share with one another loopholes they have found to freeze their Life360 location, while others admit to simply leaving their phones at home while going out. Because teens try to fight against the app with their own means, such as leaving their phones at home, the app completely negates its own purpose. Instead of making teenagers safer, it actually puts them in more risk of danger with no way of contacting others in an emergency situation. In addition, tracking apps also encourage teenagers to use less secure apps to bypass restrictions. Tim Lewis's May 1, 2022 article in The Guardian explains how downloading unsafe apps such as virtual private networks or VPNs to change a Life360 location can lead to stolen personal information. Many teenagers have also taken to disabling the Wi-Fi and data on their phones to turn off their location completely. Countless parents are making the same mistakes and failing to realize that these apps cause their teenagers to be sneaky and secretive by avoiding them and finding new ways to adapt. If parents don't understand, or at least try to understand, their teenager's point of view, sooner or later this forcible invasion of privacy will result in adolescents engaging in behaviors that these very apps are intended to prevent. The risky behaviors resulting from this invasion of privacy are troubling, but so is the developmental damage and lack of independence among teenagers as a result of over-controlling parents. Rationalized in the name of safety, countless parents are installing tracking apps on their teenagers' phones. However, forcing their teenagers to have these apps implies a lack of trust. As explained by Sonia Friedman and Chase Strick in the Chronicle, published on February 14, 2022, this can be disheartening and discouraging for adolescents, making them feel as if they are incapable of making their own decisions. Many parents have developed an unhealthy relationship with these apps and abuse them by constantly checking up on their child's location. Giving up this newfound power can be very difficult for parents, yet necessary. For high school upperclassmen in particular, a natural parenting step would be to loosen control and allow for more independence. After all, they will soon be going off to college or the workforce and have to make decisions entirely on their own. When this occurs, parents can no longer control their child's every move. Therefore, teenagers who are dependent on these apps to let their parents know where they are never learn several essential life skills, like how to be safe or independent on their own. According to Pamela B. Rutledge, Doctor of Philosophy and journalist at Psychology Today, in her article published on August 13, 2019, through tracking apps, parents are able to micromanage their children, which in turn eradicates trust and causes adolescents to experience psychological effects. The article states that teens and young adults who feel like they're constantly being watched tend to develop anxiety issues, suffer from a lack of confidence, feel an overwhelming sense of loneliness, and find it difficult to make friends. Part of maturing into adulthood is making mistakes and learning from them. If we're never given the opportunity to make those mistakes, we will never fully develop. Through tracking apps, parents are able to micromanage their children, which in turn sets them up to be more dependent on their parents in the long term. Aside from facilitating a shortcoming of independence among teenagers, tracking apps also foster significant communication breakdown between parents and their children. The convenience and peace of mind that parents gain from being able to check the app whenever they want comes at a cost of communication with their child. Rebecca Smith's September 1st, 2022 article at the Michigan Daily further explains this. Because of this easily accessible ability, teenagers feel little need to communicate their whereabouts with their parents. And when communication between parents and teenagers does take place, it is usually not on good terms. This is due to the child's behavior or location not matching the parent's expectations. For example, a parent might say, "If you don't stop speeding, I'm going to take your car keys away." Or, "Why are you at Billy's house? I told you I don't like you going over there. Come home immediately." This excessive surveillance and negative reinforcement adds unnecessary stress to the child, even if they aren't doing anything harmful. The app's presence leads teens to feel like they're constantly being watched, even if their parents aren't always monitoring them. Lisa D'Amour's New York Times article on November 8, 2021 explains that because of the constant surveillance, when problems do arise outside of the app's scope of detection, teenagers are less likely to confide in their parents. Therefore, if you're worried about where your teenager is, there are much better ways to achieve peace of mind that don't involve using an app. One possibility is to go over the schedule for the day, whether this be in person the night before or in a family group chat. This plan involves trusting your child, having an emergency plan, and just going the old-fashioned route of call me when you get there. Having open and honest conversations like this encourages communication and creates trusting relationships without harsh supervision. Many parents install tracking apps with good intentions. They don't want their child to make the wrong choices and ultimately get hurt. Thus, technology offers them a new way to feel like they're protecting their child, both from others and from themselves. However, no app forcefully implemented into teens' lives is going to keep them safe from all danger. In the end, these apps often do more harm than good. Therefore, parents should not force their teenagers to have tracking apps on their phones. As I've demonstrated today, the constant surveillance does result in increased risky behavior by those monitored, causes developmental damage in teens, and creates communication breakdown between parents and their children. So the next time a notification goes across your phone saying that your daughter Susie has arrived home from school, I want you to think twice about your tracking app usage. Is this really the best thing for you and your family? Or are you hindering the development and growth of your child as an individual?
This is where you guys get to learn about the term double entry. So Graham and Tanner are performing their duet in the other room, and so the OID that is set to perform here is going to have to wait for them to complete that performance before they perform here. So Mr. Wise can go ahead and perform an impromptu singing. No? You want to do an impromptu duet?
I'd like to hear the parents rebut that.
We don't have Life 360 on here.
Oh.
That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. Yes. That
Sid ran away today.
That's what I'm saying.
We got it this morning. Graham Tanner finished your weapon. So,
There was nobody coming, so I
That's
didn't
right.
try to stop him.
so no more talking, there's the
Company that I'm I didn't go, and he was stayed for over an hour. And,
People are
in the garage, got bored.
And people are just like, you made my sister.
No.
We should walk through the if you're like, she like sort of crying. I just couldn't remember the first time. And I saw her that's it too. I knew our goal was accomplished today. Yes. Because we also like we were talking like she's gonna get red and all the videos are black. Yeah, because I was like serious fun warriors. And I was like, did I record that? Yeah, Mr. Lund, because we feel a lot of emotional roller coaster in the letter because it went serious, fun, serious.
What about this room?
There was only like one funny that I was.
Yeah, wait, I gotta think of the word. It was Pia.
Oh, Pia.
Pia, and then it was all serious, and it was funny with me, and then everything else is serious.
And then they do like that.
Because everyone was bringing out their audios, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna make you guys laugh, and we're gonna bring
You're like the only place that I can hear because my dad here, I could tell you who it is.
Well, actually, he never answered.
No, we've already established that.
She wants to stay home, so we're just.
I tried doing that the other day.
I think you should do like, you should do Bell's accent. I would love to see it. You should do Bell's accent.
Stop here quick.
No, you
Head out from there. Make sure everybody's still on the same page. And nobody was on the same page.
Yeah, I know, Rena.
But all that.
Can't do the guitar stuff.
Maybe we just sit back there.
I got
was waiting for you to do that act on the right side. I love that. This was literally the like, and then I got into we also like I watched his face and I got a man's one. Yeah, talking about how people look at him but never once have I thought he's married. Friends.
Well, I guess I ain't coming. Reaction to
Mr. White and I are the ones Mr. Stark.
Oh, it is there. You order person. We don't know.
Oh, okay. So this is a safe.
You get lunch at 1:30.
So you guys will go see. If not all.
Maybe they're supposed to be
Sad, but it's not I haven't forgotten. And
entirely.
She will remind you.
I
Trust
will.
me. She reminds you of all that stuff.
I don't know how much that is, but we'll find out.
You don't pay judges really well, right?
Mostly because we like going. Some of us get more last year I had it. So if I judged one or more rounds, this year I get more experience. Depends if I drive myself or not. Usually I like to drive myself because I don't always want to pick up.
Sorry. Oh wait, no. Emma has. Yes. I love it.
Sure. Hi guys, we do OID, which is Oral Interpretation of Drama, and it's usually 15 minutes long is our time limit, but we do have a 30-second grace period, so the longest we could go is 15 minutes and 30 seconds, but I doubt we'll waste that much of your time today. I'm just kidding, it was great. I'm Brooke Bringelman.
I'm Aiden Nori.
I'm all right.
I'm Graham Kalett.
Edwin Arano.
You're Edinburgh.
Jason, baby, get the lights.
Okay.
Oh. Hi, everybody. My name's Rita, and I love Jesus.
Seriously, Mom?
Do you love Jesus?
Well, it's been a rough month, Marjorie.
Well, where's everybody at?
Well, hi, Mrs. S.
Hi.
Hi, Jason.
Hi. Jesse, you gonna finish your,
Jolene.
you're gonna finish Jolene today?
I guess.
Whoa, how much of that stuffing do you
You
need?
said I could make her look like I wanted.
Yes, but what is all that for?
Puppet boobs!
Oh, shut up, Timothy.
What? It's not my fault you ain't got no.
Hush, Tim!
Hey, Mrs. S. How you doing?
Oh,
You look nice.
thanks.
Jason, is that a phone in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?
Stop it, Tim! I thought we talked about this.
Just because his dad killed himself doesn't mean he has to be so desperate.
Timothy, Tim T, do you even have your puppet, Timothy?
No.
Well, why don't you have your puppet, Timothy?
Because puppets are for sissies!
Timothy, behave!
Or what?
Or I'll tell your mother.
If you can get her when she's sober.
Kids, this can be really great, really rewarding, if you just...
Just what?
Just took it seriously.
When we hurt, we often try to cover up our pain.
We try to fit it in a sunshine happy world. But doing this only hurts us more.
And those around us. Jason tries to suppress his sorrow and anger after the recent loss of his father.
But what he really wants to say comes out through his puppet, Tyrone.
Sometimes suppression is just your inner puppet protecting you.
Unless he really is the devil. Hand to God by Robert Askins.
Well, go on, show them. Show them what you've been working on.
Mom!
It's really cool. Really cool. Right, even?
Please, Don't say rad.
Why not?
Well, yeah, why not? She can say rad.
I can say rad.
You can totally say rad, Mrs. Ass.
Oh, well, go on. Show them. Show them what you've been working on.
Jesus loves me, this I know. For
Jesus doesn't love you!
Quiet. Why are you even here?
Because Mama won't leave me at home during her meetings.
What meeting?
None of your business.
Jason, baby, Jessica, will you leave me and Timothy alone?
Mom.
Oh, Jason, baby, please.
Aw, little baby.
Shut up,
Jason, you want to
Timothy.
get a Coke? I know where Pastor Greg keeps them.
Hey, Mrs. Ass.
Do you hate me, Timothy?
No.
I can't keep doing this, Tim. I've had a hard year. My husband died, Timothy. Now, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. Go smoke in the parking lot. And I'll tell your mother you're here. But please, leave me alone. Why would you leave me alone?
Because I love you and I don't know what to do about it.
Excuse me?
You don't take that thing off much, do you?
I do. I do all the time, like when I'm in the shower or swimming pool.
Only when dealing with water.
Tyrone hates water.
Tyrone, is that his name?
Yeah, you take him into the pool once, and there goes your Saturday night. But I love our little talks.
Little talks? I'm disciplining you.
But I thought this was our thing.
What?
I think it's sweet how much you love your puppet.
I don't love my puppet.
Well, how much you like your puppet.
I don't like my puppet.
How much you need your puppet.
Stop making fun of him!
I'm not. That's really good.
You don't have to patronize me.
I like it when you make him sing.
Oh, thank you.
How do you do that?
It's ventriloquism!
You'd know that if you weren't so stupid.
Oh, wait.
But wait, it doesn't matter, because he thinks you're hot.
That's enough! You remember that one time when we was alone? Jason was sick and Jessica's family was in Florida and we had a great talk. I made you laugh and then you touched my arm. What? And then the room got hot. I don't know much, but I know what I felt.
Jason, Jesse, come back now.
And I'm feeling it right now.
I don't think you should come to puppet practice anymore.
Why not?
You're disruptive. And you make me feel uncomfortable.
Oh, you think I'm...
No! Maybe. I don't know.
Ow! So hot. I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. I don't want anybody else. What? Stop! You can't stop me. Yeah, I can.
I'm gonna go see if my pa's here.
Please don't go.
Bye now.
Are you okay?
Ma, I don't want to play with puppets anymore.
Well, why
I
not?
think it's doing bad things to me.
But Jason, we have to perform for the church this Sunday. Well, that's just great.
I found my puppet.
Go home, Timothy.
But Mrs. S, I found my puppet. And his name's Randy.
Please, Timothy.
Look, I'm sorry, but I really care. I do. I just don't know how to show it.
Then use your puppet, Timothy.
I'll try.
Hey Marge, I know you've had a rough year, and I just hate to see you in pain. Timothy's in pain too, but his mama don't care the way you do.
Oh, Timmy. I'll see you at practice.
I've got it bad, so bad, I'm hot for teacher.
What's up, dildo baby? What happened to your little friend?
I don't want to talk about it. Spent the night in solitary. It was a hard night.
You're getting real good at that puppet.
Hey Tim, you know the smallest of cuts to the Achilles tendon will cripple a man for life.
Today's not the day to mess with me, turd.
Boys, we have to get back to work.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Pastor Greg has asked us to perform for the congregation this Sunday. But because of Monday's poor attendance...
I was here.
I know, Timothy.
Well, in case you forgot, I was here. That did happen.
Anyways, I was hoping we'd get Jessica so we could do Temptation of Eve or Lot's wife. Oh, speak of the devil. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Jessica. You are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Jason, what happened to Tyrone?
This is what I am without you. Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could.
Oh, you can sit off the stage. I'll be right back.
So, Tim, you just gonna sit there all night, or you gonna come help us put up this stage?
So, Jesse, you just gonna stand there and stick, or are you gonna watch it somewhere?
You don't talk to her like that.
Jason, I'm not gonna talk to your puppet.
Look at the kid and tell me who you think is in control here.
I'm gonna get your mother.
Is that how it works? The moment somebody calls you out, you run? So run! Because everybody in this room knows exactly what you are. Nothing.
Nothing? Oh, yeah?
Yeah!
Say whatever you want. I know I'm something.
What are you? Being up for your mother?
What? You heard me. I kissed your mom.
No.
And she liked it.
Hey, Tim!
What?
Just thinking what you would look like without an ear.
Bottom the puppet with teeth.
This isn't funny, Jesse.
I'm not trying to be funny. My puppet doesn't have any teeth.
Your puppet isn't possessed by the devil.
He's possessed?
Is it the puppet that's possessed or Jason?
I'm not possessed! The devil? You want the devil? I will give you the devil! Welcome to hell! Prepare to forfeit your mortal souls! Fall down! Fall down on your knees! Just ignore him! It's fine! Fine? It's not fine! It's evil! This is the very moment you surrender your souls to the Dark Lord!
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna think about what to do next.
The devil is in your puppet, and we're gonna cast him out of that thing right now and have everyone home by midnight. That's what Jesus wants, and that's what's gonna happen, right?
Do Lutherans even have exorcisms?
Oh, isn't there supposed to be a young priest and an old priest?
We aren't even Catholics yet.
Not everything can be blamed on the devil.
I have an idea. Tim, go get some water.
What? Are you finally gonna wash?
Sing it, Timmy. Hates water. Now go keep him busy.
Yes! I've got it! What if I make the walls bleed?
Here.
How about we don't say we did?
Red everywhere. I heard there was a bad boy here.
Jolene?
I heard he was real bad. You bad boy. Girl, I got everything you need. Oh, come on, Pit Topper. Let's get this thing done. Wait. I want y'all to know I know what's going on here. I've seen Bugs Bunny. I know what's going down. It's just, oh, look at them. Look at me. It's just so good, even if it ain't real.
Thanks, Jessica.
Yes, Jessica, get out. Quit thinking with Jolene. Can I talk to you now, Jason?
As long as we keep them occupied, everything will be fine.
Jason, that's messed up.
I'm not possessed. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm not possessed.
I understand that, and I know things can't be easy for you, and they aren't easy for me either.
Jason, what are you doing in my hand?
Why didn't you help Dad?
I tried. It's just your father. He had problems.
So it's his fault?
Well, it's nobody's fault.
Nobody's fault. You don't.
Don't talk to her. She made him so miserable, he had to die.
Just talk to me, Jason.
You're poison. Why don't you kill yourself like the old man?
Ma, I'm sorry I'm feeling this. I don't mean it.
I'll give you the truth, Jason. You're a sissy.
I've been saying that for years.
Shut up to the thing.
Shut up.
You shut up. Now where Pastor Greg keeps his holy water.
Tyrone, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
What? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. I want you to go away.
We're about to have so much fun. We're right on the edge, right on the cusp. There is such great fun right around the corner.
No, I want you to go away.
No, you will regret this.
Never.
Don't.
Get ready.
No.
I'm taking you off.
Oh, nice and moving.
You'll never be rid of me! Never!
Oh yeah?
You cannot be!
No, Timothy!
Go to hell, Tyrone! No! I'm melting!
Is he gone?
He is. Thanks, Timmy.
Sure thing, Mrs. S.
Jason, are you okay, baby?
Just leave me alone. You don't care about me.
That's not true.
I said leave me alone! All you care about is Pastor Greg and these stupid puppet shows!
I'm doing these stupid puppet shows for you!
Come on, Tim, let's go get a Coke.
Ma, we can't! Ma, we can't keep going like this. We can't pretend everything's okay. We just can't.
I know, baby. We don't have to do these puppet shows anymore. But it's just you and me now. We'll figure it out.
I know. Ma, I'm sorry. I hurt you. Ma, I'm sorry.
I know, baby.
But what if he comes back?
Then tell me, and I'll try to listen.
I will. I promise.
Let's go home.
I'll be right out.
You miss me yet?
No.
Maybe someday we won't need that puppet show anymore.
Maybe someday we'll be able to let ourselves off the hook, but I doubt it. The problem with needing a savior is sometimes you don't know where to look.
And that's the thing about the devil. You need him.
Maybe. But then you need him to go the hell away.
Thanks, everybody. That's it. Thanks for coming.